was top of her game. Unsettled Coco Gauff, who simply could not find her stride.
Championships back-to-back. Madison Keys, you are a Grand Slam champion.
Women's singles quarterfinals. Please welcome to Rod Laver Arena from Kazakhstan, Elena Rybakina. And their opponent from Poland, Iga Swiatek.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, with all due respect to the other three quarterfinals, this perhaps one that just jumps out a little bit more, doesn't it? With two major champions going head-to-head, and the upturn in form, I guess, of Rybakina, which, as we know, when she starts to build confidence in her game, there are few players that can live with her, Pekka.
Very few players, and she was so impressive in her match against Elise Mertens. Her first match where she was satisfied, she did say, I haven't quite found my best tennis yet before that match. But then once she stepped on court, won 6-3, 6-1 against an informed Mertens, that was a statement win, and that was a message sent out to the rest of the field that she is ready to continue her fantastic run that she had at the very end of last season, picked up in momentum and was able to carry that into the year 2026.
Yeah, slipped outside the top 10 for most of last summer, didn't she, Rybakina? There were some problems going on, as we know, away from the court, but things have steadied in that department. And she's now back up to number 5 in the world. The climb has been significant. That is only 2 spots off a career high.
Alicia doing the toss. We do a picture after, okay? Just a few reminders, 25-second shot clock on each side, live electronic line calling and video review news. Towels, white box for you, and Iga, blue box for you, okay? Any questions? Okay, one of us, Elena, is AO or Mark Edmondson? AO is called. Okay. You choose. Serve. Serve, yeah. You stay, and picture please facing this way. Thank you.
I think what makes this so fascinating as well is the stark contrast in their on-court persona, the way they carry themselves as athletes in the heat of battle really couldn't be more different outwardly. We never know what's going on inside, but the intensity coming from one side and yet from the opposite side, as we know with Rybakina, as that laconic, seemingly, nature that she carries.
Yeah, quite the ice queen on the outside. Rybakina very rarely shows some emotion, although, as you might attest, Nick, having called a lot of her matches, once you start watching her very frequently, you start to pick up on a few facial expressions when she might feel a little bit stressed or when she might feel very confident, which you can also see on her face.
What was the spearhead to the turnaround last year, Petko, in your opinion? Because it was a rough period for a while for her, wasn't it? What changed in order for her to re-establish herself at the top of the game?
I think 2 things, and I do think they are connected. I think once the world around her stabilized, also her body stabilized. I do think she was struggling with some injuries, and as we all know, mind, body and soul, everything is connected, and there was a lot of chaos around, and once that settled, she started to be, she already had an uphill climb and progress in her performance trajectory at the US series, and then at the end of the season it really picked up.
Been excellent so far, conceding only 23 games as Rybakina. Slightly different story. Been a few more challenges for the #2 seed, Iga Swiatek. 25 titles in all so far for her. Playing her 8th Australian Open, twice a semi-finalist in 22 and 25, yet to make it further than that stage, though. How impressed have you been, and what have you seen in Iga's game through the opening 4 wins?
So what I really liked about Iga Swiatek here at the Australian Open is that I really thought she progressed. Even that one set where she dropped in intensity against Anna Kalinskaya, the other 2 sets were really, really great level.
2 minutes.
Yeah, in terms of being able to find her form, as we can see that match in Riyadh, it was at altitude, as Petko was just reminding me. There was a little bit of pace in the court and the conditions. The flip really the script, should I say, really flipped at the start of set 2 in favor of Rybakina.
Oh, look at this. I love this. This is the first time I actually agree with the win predictor 50-50. I think that's exactly correct. When these two play, it's about conditions. It's about how does the player feel on that day? How are they feeling their game? How can they dictate points, which depends a lot on the first strike. And 50-50 is exactly right. Look at this. These are normal conditions.
Yeah, Iga's not played a whole lot during the day so far. Is that going to be any factor?
I think it might be. I think she might have, she obviously has practiced during the day, but we will see how she begins, because it is quite the stark contrast here if you play during the night mostly, where it's a lot slower, and then you hit the hardest hitter on tour during the day. Let's see how she adjusts to the pace coming at her.
30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, this match.
Very pleased to say we have Jill Krabas with us courtside. Let's check in with Jill for the first time. Jill, Petko was alluding to the conditions here, perhaps being a bit quicker than obviously it is at night. Does that favor one or the other here?
Yes, good morning. I'm looking forward to this. I think if you think about their game styles, I think it would favor Rybakina a little bit. She has played during the day more often than Swiatek. It's not that hot right now, so it could slow things down for Swiatek a little bit. If it was a little bit warmer as the match progresses, I feel like that would favor Rybakina, but right now it's beautiful conditions. Some of the players have said that this court's a little bit slower than some of the other courts, so that could favor Swiatek a little bit, but the way Rybakina played in her previous match was just outstanding, and she's going to want to get that first strike on the ball.
Looking to write her name into the tennis history books here on Saturday if she can reach the final, to try and complete the set of majors. The win at Wimbledon last year has given her the opportunity to do just that here in Melbourne. But there are a number of obstacles in her way.
First set.
This undoubtedly a heavyweight clash.
Elena Rybakina,
The third of the ladies' quarterfinals here at Melbourne Park.
Ready?
Elena Rybakina will get it going. Unsurprisingly, the serve numbers have been pretty good so far through this event.
Very unsurprisingly, yeah, Rybakina has been above average in every single department. Aces hit, first serve percentage 1, second serve percentage 1.
Yeah, 33 of 37 holds for Rybakina in her 4 wins to date here in Melbourne.
And this will be a challenge for Swiatek, who in the past was a little stubborn on her return positioning, but with Wim Fissette by her side has worked on being a bit more flexible there.
In what way, Petko? Explain to us how she's become more flexible.
So she used to be exactly a meter, couple of feet behind the baseline against any server in the world, and then would move up on the baseline also against any server in the world. That would make her head-to-head against Rybakina really difficult against the best server on the WTA Tour. This is very well played from Swiatek. What a start. And Wim Fissette, her coach, has urged her to just drop a little bit back if the serve is very powerful, or maybe go a little closer inside when somebody is opening the angles. And that's something she's been working on in the past year. Seems to be working here, 2 break points.
Didn't find a rhythm on the first serve, did she? Just 1 from 5 first serves made. And that is something when you look back at the numbers last season for Rybakina. First serve percentage last year was 57%, which is on the low side when you consider how many points she's winning here. It's been in the low 60s, so that is obviously a number that she needs to keep pretty high.
Yeah, and you can see why Iga Swiatek, and it's interesting, Iga Swiatek has been absolutely phenomenal on the backhand returns, particularly. When she gets a backhand return, she wins over 70% of the points, which is an astonishing number if you consider that you're returning, which is technically a disadvantage, or so one would think, except if you're Iga Swiatek. And Rybakina just couldn't get into the forehand, couldn't find first serves, and we have the first break.
Iga Swiatek.
Jill, how important for Swiatek to change direction early in the rally to try and get Rybakina off balance?
Yeah, I think very important. I think we saw that in the first game right away, and that's because what you alluded to, that a lot of second serves that she really pounced on from the beginning, and the rally ball from Rybakina was pretty short to start, and so that's where she was able to change direction so easily. I think if Rybakina can hit with the depth that we know she can, that's going to be a little bit more challenging for Iga.
This was a perfect example for what Jill just said. It was a well-struck return with depth.
It's a heavy return, isn't it?
Really is. And Iga Swiatek did struggle. She played a fantastic match against Madison Inglis, but she did struggle with her first serve. Only had 31% first serves in that first set, and was really chatting to her box consistently about that first serve rhythm.
And at times, as we know, the accuracy of Swiatek's serve isn't necessarily her greatest strength. As emphasized right there, that was effectively in the slot for Rybakina. How much traffic do you expect Rybakina to direct to the Swiatek forehand today? Petko, is that going to be an area she goes after?
I think the majority, but also because it is her comfort zone. Rybakina prefers to hit her forehands cross-court. Actually, when she came on tour, she almost hit them exclusively cross-court. And I do think that this shot will be very important for Rybakina, the backhand down the line, just because it goes through the court, and maybe Jill can attest to that. It goes through the court just a little bit differently. It really stays low.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrea. And I think Swiatek's, with that heavy forehand that she likes to hit, I think it's difficult to hit it when it's that low. And and that's her favorite shot to get her back into the rally. So that's going to be a tough one for her to handle.
And you can see there, even though she missed it, but that forehand just has a little bit more height. And Swiatek, with that grip that is a tad more extreme, gets under the ball a lot better. So Swiatek will want to be in the forehand cross-court rallies rather than have Rybakina hit her backhand down the line into that wing.
that smooth ball strike that she has. Never looks like she's swinging overly aggressively.
Rybakina.
The results are often so deadly. Wimbledon champion in 2022, beating Ons Jabeur in the final that year.
Again, Rybakina.
She's able to recover the break.
1 game on.
Next to no time. Been about 5 weeks pre-season in Dubai this year. I had a brief chat with Stefan Jewell at the back there. He's the physio. He was telling me that there he is, just on the right there. Steph, he's been a physio for many years, worked with so many different players, Stan Wawrinka, to name just one. He said they did a good 4 or 5 weeks in Dubai.
Please take your seats. Thank you.
Place she calls home these days.
Love 15.
Well, and I wonder when Rybakina will try to make the adjustment to go with her second serves into the forehand side of Swiatek a little bit more. That is the most comfortable serve that Rybakina likes to hit on the second. But right now, Swiatek just all over it with her backhand.
Yeah, because when you look at those second serve patterns, as Petko said through the tournament, she's basically hit almost exclusively the kicker on both sides, particularly on that ad side. In fact, has only hit 2 second serves into the forehand the entire tournament so far. They need to make that adjustment.
15, 14.
Or just hit some aces.
Nice if you can deliver those.
Yeah. And I do think against most women, the kicker, and with Rybakina's height, is very effective, but Swiatek has very good upper body strength. She doesn't mind that higher one on the backhand so much.
Thirty, 40. Yes.
Swiatek convinced that just didn't find the line, but got a good piece of it.
Advantage. Rybakina.
What a huge difference when Rybakina finds her first serve. You can just see her calming down right away. This is exactly her game. This is where she feels most comfortable in. she can dictate play. Well, and this is the danger, right, Nick?
Exactly. Because there she was trying to change it a little bit, wasn't she?
That is the danger when you go out of your comfort zone. This is a very stressful moment. Quarterfinal of the Australian Open against one of the best returners in the world. You do risk a few more errors that you might not do if you stick to your comfort zone.
Stefano Vukov on the right. Coach of Rybakina. That's Kamsky on the left, who has been working with her as well in the last year or so.
That was the first return really that Swiatek didn't have as much aggression on it. I mean, she's been pouncing all over that second serve and even using the forehand lower to be more aggressive. And normally we see her hit that heavy forehand, but she's trying to flatten it out from the beginning.
First hold of this opening set goes the way of the former Wimbledon champion. Both players trying to find their feet out here. It's 2-1. Plenty of focus on the serve, so we can have a look, a bit of a deeper dive into what we've seen so far here, Petko, through the Aussie Open.
Yeah, and you alluded to it, Nick. Earlier in this match, you can see Iga Swiatek's first serve placement is not quite as accurate. She goes to the body, but oftentimes when she goes for a lot, she doesn't get as close to the line. So if you do have it in your strike zone, we saw it with Rybakina a few times, the return comes back even quicker. If we have a look at Rybakina, and she is by far the best server on the WTA Tour, and I think she can even add that body serve, so she has even more room to improve on her serve. But she's so accurate, and have a look at this beautiful technique. It's just so simple, absolute beauty. She takes the racket up, perfect trophy position, and stretches out into the uppermost point.
Fabulous day in store. The only day of the championships here, where we have 3 matches during the day on Rod Laver Arena, of course. The last 2 of the women's quarterfinals, and then Djokovic and Musetti will be up here in mid-afternoon. It's a brilliant strike. Couldn't have spread the court any better.
And I love different game styles, and you can see how Swiatek uses her first serve to set up for a short ball and do something with the +1, whereas Rybakina's first serve really looks to hurt, really looks to be unreturned right away.
First forehand winner on Swiatek today.
40-15.
Patience. On the second serves, you gotta be more aggressive.
Forget the second serve, she was aggressive off the first there.
She really took that advice to heart.
40-30.
And Swiatek, not quite exact on her forehand yet. I do feel like she's not feeling it 100%. A few unforced errors off that wing already, and this might be because she's playing during the day. The ball flies more.
Game, Swiatek.
Just couldn't make the space. Wasn't a particularly quick second, it was only 140 Ks. Rybakina slightly missing an opportunity.
Yeah, Andrea, you're absolutely right about the forehand, and the reason is because she's trying to get the ball out of the strike zone of Rybakina with the high heaviness that we're used to seeing from her, and it's just difficult because the ball is staying so low on that side when Rybakina can get that clean hit.
Ball.
This is their third meeting at a major. They played here in 2023. Rybakina won 4-4. They had a very memorable meeting last year in Paris, didn't they?
I remember that, yeah.
2.5 hours.
And was Rybakina up 6-1 2 love or 6-1 1 love and had break points?
Correct. Swiatek coming through 5 in the third, in the 4th round last year at Roland Garros.
15-all.
Yeah, the conditions here definitely favor Rybakina, but that doesn't mean that she's safe here. 2 champions on the court today.
Ball. 15-30.
Yeah, second serve, closer, yes? Move out, move position, come on. It's okay.
That's only
No go
the
do much,
third,
Nasan. Come on,
the
idi.
third
Serviraj,
double
давай.
she's hit all tournament.
Без думания. Давай.
She's been very frugal. She's been able to keep that second serve under control.
Now you could hear her complaining about the sun. It's about this time when the sun starts moving around.
Ale, move position a little bit. Let's go. It's okay.
That's why you hear her coach telling her to move the position.
Seven of 20 first serves made so far for Rybakina.
The fact that Rybakina didn't strike the second serve well and in the sweet spot actually benefited her because it landed so short and out of Swiatek's strike zone.
Game. Rybakina.
Well, Rybakina's most potent weapon not firing really so far. Well, it's been no
Rybakina
deterrent
leads 3 games to 2.
because she has been able to hold on to her lead. 3-2 it is, opening set.
It's time for two lucky fans to experience the Chubb Insurance upgrade to VIP seats with the Grand Slam champions Ash Barty and Matt Ruffler. From here, you'll experience more. So, let's find our lucky winners. And there they are. Sorry, we're going to get this jump VIP seats back. Miss Barty, Mr. Ruffler.
Time.
Ready to upgrade your AL experience. All thanks to Chubb Insurance.
Much more pleasant summer's day today in Melbourne. Play taking place across the outside courts as well. Of course, with the Australian Open just taking place a little bit later this year, a lot of the youngsters are back at school this week.
Rybakina already standing much further in to return that first serve than she did in the previous games, looking to be more aggressive.
That's brilliant. Not allowing Rybakina any time to settle on the ball.
15 on.
Now, beautiful serve here from Swiatek, and we talked about Rybakina's backhand down the line and how important it is, but so is Swiatek's. Nick, you talked about the change of direction. Rybakina is so tall. When she sets up for her shots, absolute power horses come at you, so you need to make sure that she has to hit them on the run.
It's done.
Beautifully done. And this is going to be, once they are in the baseline rally, this is going to be the question, who can play the down the line first? And you saw here, Rybakina struck first, gets the short ball, and finishes it off.
Yeah, with a ton of pace as well. 36 Ks. First ace. Much needed as well. Someone that has served an abundance of aces through the course of the opening 4 wins.
That first serve.
Very quick to get around the +1 shot, wasn't she? Put herself in a commanding position in the rally.
It's such an interesting match, isn't it? Just both players know each other so well. They've played each other so many times. They know exactly what they have to do, and yet the other one is making things very hard to be able to execute. Such a psychological sport as well as tennis.
Pretty special.
15 now.
Do not try this at home. So far away from the ball, and this is only somebody with the talent and the levers of Rybakina can pull this one off.
She has made the first serve, as you would expect. It's been profitable for us. 7 of 8 points won behind it. Frequency, though, remains on the low side. Devastating. Wasn't a bad return.
40 love.
A few signs of the serve beginning to fire. And look across towards her corner. This opening set remains on serve through 35 minutes. Didn't necessarily make it happen at the majors last year, Rybakina, but in fact looking for her first semi-final in a while. This her first quarterfinal since 2024.
Bez mučice, nema šta se mučiti. Prosta stabilnost, idemo. Ajmo, ti možeš.
Interesting mixture of languages, but he did say in Croatian actually, don't exude any effort, play effortlessly, just keep loose.
does that translate on court? What does he mean by that exactly?
That's a good question. I assume sometimes when we feel tension, our shoulders just go up slightly, and then you can't quite swing as freely as you would. And I do think for somebody like Rybakina, who really swings her ground strokes, plays with timing, uses her levers beautifully, that is even more important than for some other types of players.
I also think it allows her to get a little bit more pop off the ground. And the last game, she did definitely up the pace on the first ball. And I feel allowing yourself to swing a little bit more freely really benefits Rybakina, because it just allows her to get a lot more pace on that first ball. You can also feel that Swiatek's really giving an extra effort to get that first serve with a little bit more pace on it, because she knows how important it is to be able to have that effective first serve.
It's a little change of direction, wasn't it, off the second serve? I think it may have caught Rybakina by surprise too.
Yeah, sure looked like it, and I agree with Jill 100% on Swiatek focusing intensely on that first serve, and I do think that's why she sometimes forgets that the +1 shot is as important. But her serve has definitely gotten better compared to the previous round.
Game, Swiatek. Ball game
She's going only kicks. Come on. Let's go now. First focus on your service game. She's expecting like it's going to go flat in her racket. It's not. 30 all especially. She sees that. Let's go.
Introduction of on-court coaching in the last few years really has been a game changer, hasn't it, in this sport? Of course, we knew it was going on pretty much illegally for many years.
Exactly.
So that's been happening, but the ability to translate the information from a much closer position, particularly here in Melbourne, the only major where coaches are literally court level. Some like more than others in terms of distribution of information. But ultimately, you still have to execute yourself, right?
Nie zażata na serwu, pusti rukę, ramena. Relax the shoulders, Come on.
Yeah, there we have. There we have the relax their shoulders in multiple languages.
Ball.
Couple of really clean forehands. Looking much more secure off that wing in that point.
Well, that was an interesting point because the first point really was a lot more variety from Swiatek, the slow slice and then the heavier forehand down the line. So just changing the rhythm throughout that rally.
Been too many long rallies out here, have there? In terms of only 2 rallies over 9 shots so far.
Even though she missed it, I like that move. I do think that you need to show your opponent, hey, I know this is where you're going, and I'm going to threaten you on that wing. Just provoke the opponent a little bit on doing things outside of their comfort zone.
Second ace. Still doesn't necessarily feel as though both players have hit their straps just yet. We are getting to the sharp end of things. It's 5-4 for the Kazakh. Ability to hit that wide serve has been such a big component for Rybakina over the years, obviously utilizing her height, the ability to see a little bit more of the service box. It's a clean ball striking to finish it off.
Time.
It's been 3 years since Rybakina beat a top 10 player at a major, surprisingly. It was that match that we referenced early on against this lady here in 2023. Just 3 top 10 wins she's had at the majors, Rybakina. One of those coming in the Wimbledon final. Spotlight now on Swiatek. Must hold to extend the set.
Ball. Ball.
Yeah, I think the instruction from Rybakina's corner there was to spread the court just a little more consistently. Did so nicely there.
30-15.
Just a little cheap, wasn't it? Given the context of where we are in the set right now.
Yeah, a few on both players' side, right? Swiatek missed a few second serve returns in the previous game. Rybakina now, that was absolutely a chance. A nod of approval from Wim Fissette. That was a beautiful angle there. Didn't look as if she had it in the sweet spot, but because she so determinedly swings through, still makes it.
Again, Swiatek. 5 games all.
And Jill, it just feels like there's quite some tension on the court for both players.
A little bit, and I think the reason that there's some of the misses that you're talking about is because they both know that that first strike is so important, which what we've been discussing the entire first set, and even Swiatek's taking a little bit more risk on that first ball. We know Rybakina plays that way, but this is the tension I think that both of them are feeling down here.
15 now.
Wow. Oh, to have this kind of serve.
It's beginning to fire just a little more frequently, isn't it now? Easy to beat the bounce, is it, on that serve because of the kick she gets. And you can see Swiatek so desperate to try and get it before it got to an uncomfortable height. Usually pretty adept at that, but bounce a little more aggressive because of the angle it comes down from. Stunning hit. And the advantage in this opening set remains with Elena Rybakina. There is not much to choose between the pair, though. 6-5 for the Kazakh. Interesting switch there, because Swiatek took a few steps back to get the returning play, didn't she? Was actually stunned by that.
It was a picture-perfect game here by Rybakina. And I loved what she did on that second serve, as you mentioned, Nick. Just tried to get the shorter point rather than that quick kick serve that she prefers. Usually has noticed that Swiatek was returning that really well. So just a little tiny switch up can make all the difference here. Such an interesting contest in this first set between the two.
Time.
First time in 13 years at a major that the top 5 have made the last 8. We have had the cream rise to the top on both the men's and the women's side. Hasn't necessarily been an abundance of competitive matches so far. The feeling that may change though in coming days.
Well, and what has been the serve for Rybakina
15 now.
has been the forehand for Swiatek, starting to fire more.
Come on. Full now, let's go.
Finding her groove and the timing much better.
You gotta move, side space, come on, Idemo.
Come on, Lema, come on.
Idemo. Away from the middle if you give a weak ball. Don't give her time to play. Come on. You got this. You got this.
After the end of that point, well, to hang on as long as she did.
Na match. Idemo at this point. Come on, let's go.
Imposing herself, and now just a couple of points away from this opening set.
Let's go. Gamble a bit. We can do it. Come on. I'm up. I'm sad. Держать корпус.
It was really interesting because when the ball was up in the air, I was looking at Swiatek. She was looking down at where Rybakina was for so much of that as that ball was coming down, and maybe that just slightly threw off her stride. Whatever, it was a relatively routine miss, and Rybakina has got set point here.
Oh, that is so well done. After that miss on the forehand side, to go around and use your forehand again. That was great courage under pressure here from Swiatek. Rybakina did well with that return.
Quite a pacey second serve as well, Pekka,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
exactly. She just went for it.
Will she find the courage again here?
Advantage, Rybakina.
Ne gubit korpus, pazi na spin, pazi na kick, dawaj. Uwierena, towards the ball.
Elena Rybakina it is that finds a way to secure the opening set. Almost bang on the hour mark. World number 5 looking good here to make the last 4. She's halfway there.
And I believe Iga Swiatek will leave the court to have an entire change, and you could just see Rybakina being so solid in that last game, forcing Swiatek to make the decision to go down the line, and it just got stuck at the very top of the net. What an interesting first set between these two.
You're stuck too early on the faster balls, really. Stay light. You have time, you have more time than you think. Like really, like light on your feet and use a shake.
What do you make of this, Nick? Interesting exchange.
Yep, let's go through the numbers first of all. We can dissect what we just heard. I mean, not often she'll win a set serving 41%, Pekka.
Yeah, I do think you mentioned it throughout the set. In the end, it got a lot better. She was very low in the very first beginning, and then found her groove much better. Both players, Jill alluded to it, both players are taking such high risks on the first strike that both first serve percentages are low. Rybakina able to hit more winners, few unforced errors, and that's all the difference, I think.
Go and cover the ball more aggressive with the body, so the ball bounces up a little bit. In the rallies, you're doing everything great, but listen. It doesn't matter right now. Just go full. You understand? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to go. Wherever you want to go, you go full. Yeah? In the rallies, sometimes you're rushing too fast to the middle. Yeah? A little bit too much. Stay there, hit a few shots. If you hit a good quality shot, you don't have to worry about it down the line so much. But when you hit a weaker shot, she's changing always down the line with slow spin, and you're just doing big steps, big bounces there, and you get off balance. So every time you're running, when you go into the backhand, I want to see adjustment steps all the time. Huh? When you're going forehand cross and she changes down the line because maybe the quality of your shot was not that good, you're just losing balance because you're trying to get there with two big steps. Run, but adjust, because the ball is loose.
Yeah, because if she goes up,
I know, but you stop. And then when you stop, you don't have anything to hit the ball with. Another thing, on the returns, okay, you see that she's hitting these serves that are maybe 70%.
well, sometimes she serves second faster than the first.
Yes, but with kick, because she has to cover the ball. Yeah. So when she's covering the ball, she's going body. Most of the time you're getting body backhand, but move to the side and don't go always through the middle because the ball flies long. Try to get into the corners or sometimes even change down the line. You have to make space. But the first 3 games now is discipline. we take our time. Really, we go game by game. The second, game by game. We start with the serve.
Because on the serve, when I serve white juice corner, it's difficult for me to get good angle, and then she plays there because she's far.
Yeah, but
So
you know why it's difficult? Because you're tossing behind you, first of all, and you're blocking. If you go, you have to go full. You have to fall into the court more behind the first serve. You have to, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you serve there, okay, quicker step, finish with the body in the direction you want to serve. Okay? But you're doing good. But just understand the match a little bit more.
We both started so shaky.
It's okay. For you. Let's go. Come on. Great job. Yeah, but it's not about this. Even her percentage, both of the percentages first serves are low. Yeah? But you know that after a few games, she's going to collapse. So let's go. First few games now. You put pressure, you stay in the rallies, okay, if you have to, but be careful because she gives you sometimes short balls when you're playing so low. Let's be active. Let's go. Come on. Давай, Elena.
Stefano Vukov is leading the distribution of information to his play here. We'll take a look at some of the highlights of what we saw in a set that maybe took a little while to get going. But as Petko said, both players know each other so well.
Yeah, it was really Rybakina in the end who just found a little bit more of a groove and the right balance between being aggressive and staying solid. She forced Swiatek on that last service game to take a few risks, and they just didn't quite pan out, particularly on that last set point. And boy, Nick, I don't know if I would be able to dissect all the information given.
Yeah.
It's a great job by Rybakina, really. And it's clearly working for them. That's the most important part.
Yeah, the clock ticking down as far as Iga Swiatek is concerned. For change of attire, of course, you're allowed the 5 minutes for that. Maybe just checking how long she's got here. Gonna hit a few serves, maybe get a couple of older balls out here.
Forward and high contact points. Second serve.
And I love that now you can see the change of the tire clock running out on the big screens for the fans.
Second serve. Middle, only middle. Da. Lien, ty możesz.
I think you just heard the other coach, Daz Kamsky, there, had the screen, the iPad out there, and I think he was just looking at the data, and I think he just said the second serve's only been middle, so he's obviously got that available to him. We know that, of course, Bolt 6 providing all that information here at the Australian Open.
Even if you hit, don't worry about where the ball is. If you don't see it, just go for it. Toss a little bit.
Come on, Iga, dawaj, walcz!
Third set she's lost here in Melbourne. Iga Swiatek. Second, excuse me. Was the only one so far to Alcaraz.
Time. Second set, Rybakina to serve. Thank you. Ready for play.
Rybakina then, halfway home. We'll get the second set underway.
Fifteen.
Let's go, come on.
Oh.
It was a purposeful return, getting the feet around that one a little quicker.
Yeah, that was a beautiful forehand. And sometimes I just wonder, take a look here, Nick. This was a miss into the net. Look where she swings through. She almost lands underneath her shoulder. And that ball landed in the net, whether it would help her to follow through and up over the shoulder a little bit more. That is old school tennis. I'm not saying you have to do that all the time. Tennis has become much quicker.
13, 15.
But in some instances, I have noticed that she almost swings through on her lower hip. And that's when she seems to get into trouble on the forehand side.
Oh.
Sad serva bolsha. Quicker under the ball, eh? Load. Quicker in the load phase. Come on.
We heard Wimper say when she walked off court, say you don't need to panic. And I thought that was interesting information, because essentially almost what he's saying is you are unnecessarily taking on a bit too much risk sometimes. Is that something you'd agree with, Pekka?
I agree, and I do think that's something they have been working on for the last year and a half. This is great serving. There's not a lot you can do, but he said you have more time than you actually think, implying that her anxiety at times makes her rush when she doesn't have to rush. And everyone who knows Swiatek well knows that she has had trouble against the big hitters in the past.
I think, Andrea and Nick, I think that applies really to during the point too, with her movement around the baseline, because sometimes you can feel like you have to go so fast, and that can create some tension in your body, where if you actually take the mentality and the mental approach to actually feel like you have more time, it can slow you down overall in the point. But I mean, that's Rybakina's whole game, is to rush the opponents. That's why I mentioned earlier too how she's taking a little bit further stance up on the baseline, Rybakina, just to apply that little extra pressure. But I think within the point, Swiatek can try and slow herself down.
The two semi-final defeats she had here, to the point that both of you are making, were, of course, to Madison Keys and Danielle Collins, two players who grip it and rip it a fair bit from the back.
I like this expression, grip it and rip it.
Now 15.
And this is a very important game for Iga Swiatek. The last time she played Rybakina, after she lost the set to her, it was in Riyadh, we alluded to it at the top of the game, she really started to panic and was not able to find her way back into the match anymore. So this is going to be a massive game for Swiatek.
Now 30.
Win predictor, as you would expect, has swung the way of the Kazakh. well off balance there, wasn't she? Seamless change of direction. And she's growing in belief here.
Love 14.
Yeah, the attempt at mixing some of the paces for Swiatek, but the backhand just lands short. If you take a look here, this one goes cross-court again. This one very short, and then up the line it goes.
Rybakina leads 2 games to love.
Rybakina definitely look more relaxed in those last few points. Just looks really much more composed.
Just didn't always play under the Kazakh flag, but made the move a few years ago. A gentleman called Dave Miley, who's moved there a few years ago. He's in charge of the overall development of tennis in Kazakhstan. After the growth of the game there. He was telling me the other day, in the entire country of Kazakhstan, they have 350 tennis courts in the entire country. And they're obviously trying to build some more homegrown players.
Let second serve.
That was beautifully done. That could have been a tricky shot if Rybakina hadn't gotten up to it so quickly. Recognized I was going to land short and just moved seamlessly through the ball. Beautifully done.
(15-13).
Well, the toss getting a little bit low on Rybakina on both the first and the second serve. And that's why her coach is constantly reminding her to get up to that ball, to really reach up.
Early strike. Swiatek was left flat-footed for once.
30-all.
Big game this, isn't it? For the pole. Set 3-love. Feels like a long way back.
(40-13). Game, Rybakina.
Beautiful delivery. The first serve still not coming down as frequently as she would like. But she is firmly in command here. She leads Iga Swiatek by a set 3-love.
Time.
Petco and I just having an interesting discussion with regards to the way Iga Swiatek has carried herself through her career, and particularly again today, because we're only a few yards from her, and it's been pretty clear that the sense of anxiety within her that just hasn't really allowed her to settle out here. Perhaps has not allowed her to play her best tennis as a consequence of that. Real trouble.
Net for serve.
Yes, he's a nice serve, and I agree with you, Nick, and I think sometimes I have that so often. I have conversations with tennis players, and I see what geniuses they are on court, and I speak to them, and I have the feeling they don't know how good they are. Even these champions sometimes don't know how good they are, and they get anxious, which at the same time makes them human and makes them relatable.
And there is a lot on the line for Iga this week, right? Coming here to Melbourne, who knows where that is in her head, but to complete the set of majors would elevate her status in this sport. It's already very high, but
cover the cross. Idemo. Still get this game. You can get it. Come on. Držite malo više.
To join that list of greats, to have won all 4, may not happen this year.
$15.
We all agree she's not.
$15.
In the background there. With Fisette, of course, with the blue shirt.
Game, Swiatek.
Stop the rock in the short term.
Rybakina leads 3-1.
That was a very good service game from Swiatek. When the fact that every serve was different, the pace, the spin, the direction, everything just caught Rybakina by surprise. So it was smart from Swiatek.
Saw that little graphic there with regards to top 10 wins, and I mentioned the fact that Rybakina hasn't had many against the majors, but this would be an 8th straight top 10 win if she were to win here today. Rybakina, dating back to the Asian swing last year.
And there was a similar thing against Coco Gauff at the United Cup where Iga lost a tight first set. Lost a tight first set, 6-3 to Coco Gauff, and then just sort of panicked, went down 5-0, 4-0.
Just a few more balls made there.
Yeah, and finally relaxed and then started to come back. It was just too late, and she has picked it up a little earlier than she did against
There's no rush.
Coco Gauff.
No rush to hit a winner. She's standing, move position a little bit more on the serve. Move. Move, 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 move.
And you could see the panic a little bit in the movement to the backhand, and she tried to lift so much, but you could just feel in her a sense that she knew she was getting behind in the rally.
Sama Assad. Load the legs. High contact point. Jump. One ace. Come on.
Nice to have that when you need it. 8 aces in the match, almost a third of her first serves have been aces. In fact, over a third. Well done. Wasn't the obvious shot from there. And found a way to breach the defences of the Kazakh.
Advantage, Rybakina.
Lena, move position, idemo na pravo, ali move skroz, kao da ćeš na lijevo. Na lijevo, na lijevo, na lijevo. Fake it.
And he told her to pretend like she's going to go wide, but then serve T. Let's see. She didn't listen to him, but it was still good.
Imperious serving towards the end of that game. She only needs 2 more here to book a return to the last 4 in Melbourne.
Time.
Winner of this one will take on the winner of the match to follow, the American derby between Amanda Anisimova and Jessica Pegula. Both have played very well, particularly Pegula through week 1 here. Anisimova going for a 3rd straight major final. 2 wins away from that. That would be some achievement.
Well, despite the scoreline, I have to say on the changeovers, Swiatek was actually showing some pretty positive body language, which is good to see. Just nodding her head, fist pumping to her team. So it was nice to see, even after that miss, just gave herself a little bit of a nod.
Yeah, and that is great to see because Rybakina is just playing tremendously well. We all know that when Rybakina is playing this well, you sometimes just have to try and get her out of the rhythm, but wait and see whether she can hold that level. And great job by Swiatek to try and remain positive here, to give herself the chance to find a way back in the match.
Decisive with the movement there, wasn't she? Wanted to hit the backhand, but numbers don't lie either when you look at them today. We're Rybakina, 24 winners, 19 unforced errors. Swiatek, 10 winners, 23 unforced errors. Those winners do include the serve, though, so that has to be factored in, but 2 different stories on both sides of the net. More break points here.
Ball.
It's dropped just in the nick of time. And time is most definitely running out for the pole.
By the tiniest of margins, and you can see here, it does look out when you see it in the quick development of when the ball hits the court, but there it is.
Thank you.
World number 3 was beaten on this court yesterday. The world number 2 might be following. First time we've seen that sort of change up. Swiatek was well on her way here.
15 all.
I think one of my takeaways, I don't know about you, Petko, but if she does go on and win this
30,
straight
15.
sets, she's won serving 47% of first serves. If you'd have said before this match she's only going to serve 47% of first serves, you'd have probably thought Iga was favourite.
Yeah, absolutely. I think particularly in the second set, Rybakina has played a phenomenal level of tennis. The first serve only in the very first beginning looked quite shaky, but she's found it when she needed it. And here we are.
15.
Match point.
Game.
Sealed in style. Elena Rybakina ends Iga Swiatek's hopes of completing the set of majors in Melbourne this year. That will have to wait until the surgeon counts it right now. Rybakina overcomes the world number 2 in 1 hour and 35 minutes. 7-5, 6-1.
What a performance that was, particularly in that second set, a level of tennis that was difficult to withstand even for the world number 2. It just looks so effortless when she strikes the ball. Such beautiful simplicity of form on all her ground strokes, and the serve aces when she needed them. Take about Elena Rybakina.
Straight top 10 wins now. She has found her mojo in this sport once again.
She really has, yeah, and it looks just so easy when she does it. There is just there are no edges in her technique, right, where you think that you could maybe get her. So if she's feeling confident and well within herself, everything flows.
Not to be for Iga. Never really felt she was at her best over the course of the last 10 days, did you?
I would agree with you. I did think that the last set against Kalinskaya and the last 2 sets against Inglis looked good, but Rybakina just a bit too strong.
Let's hear from her. She's with Casey Delacroix.
Elena, congratulations. You are through and back into another Australian Open semi-final. How pleased and satisfying was this win today for you?
Yeah, really pleased with the win. Thank you so much for supporting and coming. It's really nice atmosphere.
Now, you and Iga have played many, many times before. You actually played 5 times just last year, so you know each other's games very well. What did you think was the big difference today?
Yeah, we know each other pretty well, and I was just trying to stay aggressive, and I feel like in the first set, for both of us, the first serve was not really working, so we were trying to step in on the second serve, put pressure on each other, and I think in the second I just started to play more free, serve better, and yeah, I'm just really happy with the win.
And your serve today was so effortless. It looks fantastic. It's obviously technically so reliable. How pleased are you with how your serve is tracking heading into the semi-finals tomorrow?
Yeah, really happy with the last 2 matches. It's a bit challenging with the sun, and but finding a way, and yeah, for now the serve is really helping, so hopefully I can continue like this.
And I have to say, I love your attitude on court. You're one of those players that, regardless of the score, you wouldn't really know kind of what's happening. You have a great demeanour. You're very cool, calm and collected. Is that how you are off the court as well?
Yeah, pretty calm outside of the court too. Of course, I can be fun too with the close people, but yeah, I'm just trying to not show too much frustration if something is not going well. But yeah, I think it's just my character.
And lastly, you do play again tomorrow. Give us a little bit of an insight into what you will do between now and the semi-finals tomorrow.
Well, it's probably too boring because I'm just going to do my recovery, watch my opponents, talk with the team, and yeah, try to do my best tomorrow for sure.
Well, congratulations. Go and enjoy this moment, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Everyone, Elena Rybakina.
Yeah, back tomorrow night for a semi-final. We will find out very shortly who she will face. Of course, we know it will be an American. Which one remains to be seen. How close is she back to her best, Pekko, from your perspective, from where she was when she won the majors?
I think she's very close. I really do think that she is. She seems much more relaxed. She seems much more okay and within herself. And I think that's very important for somebody who is just a very steady personality and who is used to having sort of the same mood every day. If there is a lot going on around, it will throw her off, maybe more than somebody as impulsive as me. I know how to deal with the chaos. I'm used to it, but I think now she is back on her steady self, and it has shown in her tennis. She looks physically in really good shape. I do think she's moving almost as good as she was when she was at her best. And as you mentioned, 49% first serve. That was the one area where Iga Swiatek maybe missed out on a few opportunities in that first set. Everything else, she's a +7 in this match. That is very impressive. 26 winners to 19 unforced errors. A very clean match. And Iga Swiatek will have some thoughts about this tournament, but will bounce back quicker and better as she usually does.
Yeah, the wait to write her name into tennis history will have to go on for the poll. She will look forward, I'm sure, to the next challenge after a few rest days back at home. Such a low-key, understated character, Rybakina, but she is most definitely a force once again in the top of women's tennis. Stay with us, because the last of the women's quarterfinals between Amanda Anisimova and Jess Pegula is coming up in a few minutes from now.